I love movies, and apparently, so do you. Hokum is written and directed by Damian McCarthy and follows a horror writer who visits an Irish inn to scatter his parents' ashes, unaware the property is said to be haunted by a witch. I still need to watch Caveat. I heard good things about that, but I did have the chance to watch Damien's Oddity, which I thought was a really good horror film. I remember it getting a lot of buzz, and now he was able to make Hokum, which Hokum, in my opinion, just might be my favorite of what I've seen from him so far. He has a real knack for combining horror with mystery, and of course, we see this done with a lot of good horror films. It's not always just horror outright, it's drama, it is mystery. There are other factors in there. We see drama comedies, but I think with Hokum and Oddity, from what I've noticed, is he can have this central mystery there, but then he can really have horror be the backdrop, almost like the catalyst for us to really solve that mystery. Kind of like Mike Flanagan. When you watch Haunting of Hill House or Midnight Mass or his other films and TV shows, it's not just horror front and center, it's a lot more complex than that. And while I don't find Damien's films to be particularly scary, aside from certain moments, because I'm numb to this shit by now, but I really do think they are well written and full of a lot of dread and atmosphere. His stories are pretty dark. And after this, I can say I don't come to his films to find a lot of horrifying things or cheap scares, but I do come to them seeking good writing and a good central mystery. As the story was moving along through these different beats, it felt like we were able to put the pieces together and try to solve the mystery along with the lead character. And I can really say it's all very well directed and shot. I don't think it's anything special, similar to how I felt with Oddity. I mean, he has good looking films, good shots over here, good framing overall, good color. But what I really got from this was the production design and costume design. I love the creature makeup too. I love the design of the hotel, the inn itself. I love creepy inns in horror films and TV shows. I don't know what it is, but like they're really unsettling and disgusting, but also kind of cozy in a way. And I think he did a really good job of using that production design and the way they were framing the inn to make it really feel like a character itself. It felt like we were in the countryside with them. Adam Scott plays our lead character, Bauman, and I love Adam Scott. I feel like we've really been able to witness his trajectory as an actor because he really started off kind of just playing the asshole in a lot of those movies. We remember him from Step Brothers and Secret Life of Walter Mitty, but then we see him do Severance, which is a complete different kind of role for him. And now with Hokum, sure, he's kind of playing an asshole again, but I think his character is a lot more complex than that. He does a lot of questionable things that make him downright unlikable. However, it's his complexity as a character and the things we see him do toward the end of the movie that kind of makes us like him and relate to him, especially with what we see that he'll do for certain characters. I won't really spoil, but I do like the choices that he makes throughout. And like I said, he's not your usual lead or protagonist by any means, because he's definitely not a protagonist. But I do really think that he was well written and very well acted. I love Adam Scott as an actor, and I really just love to see what he picks. And I like that he's kind of been like doing a little bit of horror. Obviously Severance has a sci-fi kind of thrilling elements to it. We did see him appear in The Monkey, and now with this, it's like, okay, what can we see him do next? I really want to see him do more in this space, actually. The supporting cast is good too here. We have the hotel employees played by Peter Coonan and Florence Ordesh. I will say they were very, very important to the plot. They felt like real lived in characters, and I really felt like I knew them, especially Florence Ordesh's character. She played Fiona, and yeah, I won't spoil too much with that, but they have a lot to do with the mystery, I'll say. But I will say the biggest standout for me was David Wilmot, who played Jerry. I've seen David Wilmot. I don't think a lot of people probably know him, but I love the show Industry. I really love Station 11. That's one of my favorite shows of all time, and he had a great plot in Station 11. So when I saw him here, that was a cool surprise because I didn't see him in the trailers. I might be spoiling it for people, but I think he was really good here. To be honest, him and Adam Scott, when you see them on screen together, I think they're a great pairing. Very unlikely pairing. But that to me was some of the best parts of the film. And I think that he contrasts the character of Ohm. And I really love the makeup and effects too. I didn't know what the witch was going to look like going in, but I'm glad that they went for that more disgusting, realistic, evil witch approach because I hated looking at her. And we only see her certain times throughout. And I really hope that people have that same reaction. It was nice seeing the effects. I love when in films we get to see the witch's true form. They're not just beautiful pop culture. I like seeing that side of it too. But here, yeah, we see her true form, and it's not very pleasant. And not just the witch makeup, but there's also a dead body that you see. I don't know if people really saw the promo. I won't really spoil what it is, but the way it looked was very creepy throughout. And this fucking bunny guy that's also in a lot of the trailers. Yeah, the trailer doesn't do it justice. It's really fucked up, and I hate looking at him. And yeah, I said I wasn't really scared too much by this, but there were certain jump scares that felt warranted, and along with that makeup, it makes for a pretty scary time throughout. Like I said, lots of good atmosphere, lots of dread. I think that he really knows how to really make you feel unsettled in those quiet, long moments. As I had mentioned before, the direction really isn't very strong. I just think I expected more overall. It doesn't have to be too in your face, but I think from someone like Damian, and especially, as he's moving along in his career, I do expect him to take more risks. It is a good looking film, it's pretty good framing. However, I did just expect more overall. The same could be said about the script at times because it does fall into certain tropes, specifically toward the end, because up until then, it all felt very different and fresh. And listen, I'm not saying it's like horrible toward the end or super cliche, but it does get a little predictable, and I do wish there were more risks taken, more creative liberties. I just think that the ending does play it a bit safe. I like the ending for what it is. I think that it wraps up really nicely, and I like where the character goes. However, it does feel a bit safe, especially for Damian standards. What's really cool about this, though, I'm glad that so far it is doing pretty good in theaters. It made $15 million on only a $5 million budget. I was kind of surprised. They really stretched that budget far, especially, seeing Adam Scott, seeing this cast. The cinematography is well done, great design. So the fact that it's doing pretty good in the box office, 15 mil really isn't bad. I hope that it gets more. I hope more people see this. I really do urge you guys to watch it. Comment below. Let me know what you thought about this. Overall, I think that this is a really strong horror film. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd because I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I do really like it. I mean, I guess you could say it's my favorite horror film of the year so far. I mean, I still have to watch Obsession and Backrooms. Well, I can just say right now, May is going to be a cool ass one for horror. I can't wait to see what's in store for that. But yeah, so far, I really do like Hokum, because I like films like Undertone, They Will Kill You, Bone Temple. Those were good films with horror in there. But I think that Hokum is the best made one so far. I mean, I guess the bar is kind of low because last year I was really worried. I'm a little worried this year too, but now with films like Hokum and Obsession, my excitement is back up there for sure. And let's be honest, anything fucking beats Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Alright guys, that about wraps it up. I had a really good time with Hokum, and I really hope that you guys go to see it. For all my rookie divas, there will be a Devil Wears Prada 2 review on Friday. I'm actually pretty excited to talk about that one. And also, I'll be seeing Obsession this weekend, so you can stay tuned for that review. That'll probably be up next Wednesday. All my links are in the description. Please like, subscribe, and share. Show all your support because it would be nice to pay off these credit cards. Peace.